From 29 September to 3 October 2025, a high-level global delegation representing the UNFPA-UNICEF Joint Program on the Elimination of Female Genital Mutilation, FGM, visited Eritrea. Their mission: to celebrate the country's national progress, engage with leaders and communities, and reflect on strategies to accelerate the collective global effort to end FGM by 2030. The delegation, composed of members of the Global Steering Committee, witnessed firsthand how Eritrea's commitment, rooted in strong political will, community engagement, and cultural transformation, is setting an example for the region and the world. They met with senior government officials, community and religious leaders, women's association, and survivors of FGM.
National Union of Eritrean Women is a spearheaded organization in organizing and sensitizing and implementing so many projects in the ground for the benefit of economically and to abolish all these harmful practices. There is a great progress, but still we have to do so many things because culture is not abolished in the short period of time. It takes time. So we need to work hard together.
In their field visits to Halib Mental of Karen and Haggaz in the Anzbar region, areas recognized for pioneering community-driven action against FGM, the delegation observed vibrant community engagement, religious leaders, local administrations and youth groups working hand in hand to end FGM.
እዚ ጉጅለ ዝመጽእ ዘሎ ናይ ዓለማዊ ጠርናፊ ናይ ተሓገዛት ዝገብሮ ንኣንጻር ክሽቦ ጓል ኣንስተይቲ ዝምልከት እዩ 18 ሃገራት እዮም ዝሕግዙ ኣብተን ክሽቦ ዝዓለለ ስታይ ዘለዎን ሕጂ ሎም ዓመት ኤሪትራ ተመሪፃ ነዝናቶም ኣኼባ እንግድ ንምእንጋድ ጥራሕ ዘይኮነ ግን ኤሪትራዊን ከም ሃገር እንታይ ትገብራላ ንክሽቦ ንኸተቃለል ኩልና ከም ንፈልጦ መንግስቲ ኤሪትራ ኣብ ሰብዓታት ተጎስጓስ ከም ዝጀመሮ ብዙሕ ከም ዝሰርሓሉ ብዙሕ ከም ዝፃዓረሉ ብሮኳ ሓደ ርብዒ ናይተን ንኡሳን ዞባታትና ካብ ክሽቦ ንወፃ ምዃነ ኣረጋጊፀን ነዚ ግን ብዓይንኻ ምርኣይ ምስትብሃል ነቲ ታሪክ ኮይኑ ንምግላፅ ስለ ዝኾነ ምርኣይ ከዓ ምእማን ስለ ዝኾነ ንዕኡ ንኽብልኦም መፅኦም
Every year the steering committee visits one of the countries that are part of the program, and this year we've had the privilege to be here in Eritrea, and it has been an absolutely inspirational visit. It is not a country that I think any of us had ever been to before, and so what we've seen is unbelievable commitment from the government, from ministers, from the communities, from the religious leaders. We've got to meet with young people, and the knowledge and understanding and the experiences that they've shared have been truly transformative. And I'm very hopeful actually that by 2030 Eritrea is on track to end FGM and could be one of the first countries in the world to actually see the practice eliminated.
Eritrea's fight against FGM is guided by its National Strategic Plan on FGM 2020 to 2025 and the 2007 proclamation banning the practice. The government has prioritized the protection of women and girls, aligning national policy with Sustainable Development Goal 5.3, which calls for ending all harmful practices by 2030. Over 1.4 million people have been reached through nationwide campaigns promoting gender equality and the abandonment of FGM. Nearly 780,000 individuals have participated in public declarations pledging to end the practice, while more than 44,000 women and girls have received integrated health, social and legal services. 14 subzones have officially declared themselves FGM-free, with 11 more under review this year.
نحن هم إريتراويان أمنا له رجعنا له كنكيد سلدت نحنا نوح تاريخ كأهم زلنا بزح كم بسرحنا كنار يومنا فتنا نزت وقنات فينا هذا لنا عوض كميجرنا نجبط أن حزن ندفع لون ندحر حجوين كملس كم ذي المانياتو كشبه كنت مرعت حتى أدمون كلوت بدأت المدة بحلاوي سرت تحزو كاب نحقوتاتنا كاب أب حقوتاتنا نوح هذا سلزوخني نزفت الجسو أزيو نوح جزء تدليك نزن هتقبر كأني كي يعرفك حزبي مساخان دا سرحك مسؤول دا تلازبك كقالو سوخن دلو مستمهاري.
I think has been part of the mission, bringing the steering committee members to visit Eritrea to appreciate the efforts that Eritrean government is doing on elimination of FGM. I'm sure you know that Eritrea is among the 18 countries that benefit or they are supported by the joint program on female genital mutilation. Spending a few days in Eritrea, I go away with a lasting impression, mostly appreciating the government leadership on and the commitment to end FGM. I think we visited the Ministerial and National Steering Committee in Eritrea, headed by the minister at the ministerial level and also director generals within the national committee. I think this is one step of signaling government commitment to eliminating female genital mutilation. Apart from that, I think we've also seen Eritrea moving forward with the implementation of the National Action Plan on eliminating FGM. So the resources supported by the joint program is just a meager of what is pushing the last mile to eliminate FGM. It's mostly the government leadership, government commitment, the human resource which government is bringing in, the community members themselves, the local leaders themselves, the religious leaders themselves. So it's the whole of community approach with the community members themselves driving the agenda to end FGM. I think Eritrea brings the example globally in terms of how they are leveraging on the social capital within their own community to ending FGM. We've also seen Eritrea came up with a Proclamation Act, which is also supporting in terms of the legal aspect of FGM, including criminalization. But what is key and what is the key message within this Eritrea community is the community members themselves. So government is bringing in the leadership to address the social norms, the people themselves, the parents themselves, and more importantly also the testimonies from the former circumcisers who have looked at dangers of FGM, not only to the life of the girl, it's life-threatening, and the overall consequences that is driving the force behind Eritrea. And as a global program coordinator, I think Eritrea presents the best example that we need to tell the story on how Eritrea is almost nearing elimination. And this is a strong message that ending FGM is possible. And Eritrea is showing the world that when you have commitment by the leadership, by the community themselves, the traditional leaders, the religious leaders working together, ending FGM, will end it in Eritrea before 2030.
These milestones have translated into real social change. The prevalence of FGM among women aged 15 to 49 has fallen from 95% in 1995 to 83% in 2010, while opposition to the practice has grown dramatically, rising from 49% in 2002 to 82% in 2010. The message is clear. Eritrea is moving steadily toward the elimination of FGM by 2030.
The European Union, among the other countries, is one of the countries that finance the program, not only here in Eritrea, but it has a big intervention in FGM all over the world and in Africa as well. And then we are very happy that we can participate to this, looking forward also to continue, because we believe that this kind of programs, the most important thing is continuity. So it's not something that you spot and then you leave. So in our headquarters in Brussels, they are looking over this program, trying to find money, the resources that are less and less, around the world. but this is one of the programs that we think is a flagship and that should continue in Eritrea and in Africa in general.
أنا جيروم كوشار أنا the France ambassador here. So we are now on a field trip, and it was confirmed that Eritrea is doing so well against FGM. It's very impressive, and I was very happy to be part of this trip. More and more subzones have declared themselves FGM-free. What a success for Eritrea. Bravo.
The delegation's visit to Halib Mental in Karen and Haggaz in the Ansbar region offered a window into how Eritrea's approach, anchored in local participation and religious leadership, has reshaped community behavior.
The commitment of the local government, the religious leaders, the community leaders, women, men, elderly, and how they're coming together to agree on abandoning FGM in this village and declaring it free. We're really impressed by the engagement of the young generation, the students at the school from grade 9 to 11. They were very engaging, determined to support their family on overcoming these harmful practices. We appreciate the support of the donor who was part of the visit today, and I don't want to name them because they all contributed equally to help us as UNICEF and UNFPA to work with the government, with the community, so we can be able to declare Eritrea as an FGM-free by 2027.
Et aussi, c'est une opportunité pour visiter Érythrée, un pays avec un exemple fort sur l'abandon de l'excision. Depuis qu'on est arrivé, on est en train de faire des réunions avec le gouvernement d'Érythrée, avec le comité national d'Érythrée. On a vu le progrès qui a été fait depuis Asmara. Depuis hier, on est là. On est à Karen. Aujourd'hui, on est à Haggaz pour voir directement les actions qui ont été faites. Pour réunir avec les femmes, on a été dans les villages, on a vu des leaders religieux, on a vu l'engagement des peuples, l'engagement de la peuple érythréen pour l'abandon de l'excision.
At every level, from ministries to village councils, from youth groups to former practitioners, there was one unifying message. The nation stands together in its commitment to end FGM once and for all.
Thank you to the local communities. I was particularly impressed by the commitment and the engagement of the students at the high school. That was really fantastic to see how they have incorporated this issue of FGM, but also underage child marriage and related problems, not only into their curricula, but also into their daily lives. I think that is really commendable, and I take this impression with me, and I pass on also the message to my own kids. I have 5 kids at home, and I think the kind of attitude they have shown here is something kids in Europe can learn from. Thank you.
Throughout the visit, the delegation expressed deep respect for Eritrea's achievements and community spirit.
Italy is a strong supporter of the program. We have started since 2008 supporting it, and during our presidency of the G7 2024 we have doubled our contribution. I was very happy to come here to see the results, and also the sense, what I got more is a sense of unity among different layers of the population, religious leaders, communities, and local authorities. So the message that I would like to give is this is something that could be replicated elsewhere in the world. The results are astonishing. So I was also very struck by the welcoming of the people when we got into several villages. So grazie mille for the welcoming, and keep on the same pace. Grazie.
Well, the United Kingdom is proud to support efforts to tackle female genital mutilation and other harmful practices, including underage marriage, and it is a privilege and an inspiration to see the progress that the local communities have been making here in Eritrea. And I want to congratulate the local authorities and the local communities for the progress they've made in eliminating this dreadful practice and other harmful practices. And the United Kingdom is proud to support the joint UNICEF-UNFPA programme, and it's a pleasure to meet the visitors as part of the steering group and to work with them in meeting the local community and learning lessons that can be applied elsewhere.
Discussions during the visit focused on strengthening coordination, enhancing research-based planning, and intensifying community-led awareness. Delegation members encouraged continued investment in education, health services, and dialogue to sustain the gains already made.
Basically, for Eritrea to move towards the very last mile, we need to keep on this trajectory. And then also, what are the other touch points that Eritrea could leverage on? For example, there's an education program. How do we leverage more on the education sector to make sure that we finish the last mile? There are initiatives like a Girl Incentives program. How do we piggyback on that one to bring the plus component? There is a program on social protection or cash transfers. How do we leverage on those? So for us to reach the last mile, with all the beautiful work that Eritrea is doing, the gains that we have, to sustain the gains and finish this last line, there are these other key entry points that we could work together jointly, leadership of the government to Eritrea, so that we end FGM before 2030, and it's possible. Eritrea has made it possible.
It's been a great privilege and honor to be part of this field trip because it was really informative and enlightening. I would like to thank the organizers, the government of Eritrea, UNFPA, for this endeavor. I'm very proud that we as Germany are part of this multi-branch project that encompasses government agencies, international organizations, and local communities. And I've seen here, and I've learned here in particular, how important it is to have the local commitment. And it cannot be overstated how important it is to take the people along this arduous journey. And everything I've seen and heard so far has been eye-opening and could serve also as an example for other countries.
Members noted that Eritrea's success against FGM is part of a broader social transformation, one that promotes gender equality, women's empowerment, and access to health care. They also pointed to the vital role of the Ministries of Health and Labour and Social Welfare and organizations such as the National Union of Eritrean Women, whose decades-long advocacy has built bridges between policy and community action.
So what's inspired me most is the commitment from the whole of society, from the government, from the communities, from the young people, from the religious leaders. I think is truly inspirational, and I think that's a real sign of the progress that we've seen here in Eritrea. We had the privilege a couple of days ago to meet with the National Technical Committee, which brings together the Ministries of Labour and Social Welfare, Ministry of Health, the National Statistics Office, and they're coming together on a regular basis to analyse the data, to see where there's progress, to identify where there's gaps so they can target their interventions to where the needs are greatest. And I think using that data-driven approach with a whole-of-government response is what's making the biggest difference here.
I was just absolutely amazed by the level of knowledge that people have about FGM here. And I think it's a program that is doing success, or at least I can see it visibly, that people are informed and are fighting for a better and a total eradication.
As the visit concluded, the delegation expressed deep admiration for the unity of purpose and national ownership they witnessed. They reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Eritrea's journey toward a future free from FGM.
I would like to come back here in 2030 and know that this plague has been completely eradicated from this country.
This is a joint partnership between UNFPA and UNICEF since 2008, so it's 17 years old. We cover 18 countries directly, but we have a global influence beyond the 18 countries. As you know, FGM affects over 94 countries, so it is a global problem. We are very pleased to be hosted by the Eritrean government these last 2 days. We've learned a lot. We have met with the government. We have met with the community members, starting from community leaders, religious leaders, men, women, ex-traditional practitioners, and youth. We have been inspired by all the work they have been doing, and what we have seen matches what we know internationally from evidence. We know that community engagement works, we know that health education works, we know working with influencers like traditional leaders, like religious leaders works. So Eritrea got it right, and we know that because we are seeing tremendous results. Eritrea, as we know from the community mapping exercise, that under 5-year-old, 2.4% are affected. And the way it's reducing, we think Eritrea might be the first country globally to end FGM. So this is a big congratulations to the country, and a lot of lessons we've learned and we will take away and share globally. Thank you.
Let me just begin by saying that it's a real pleasure to be here today with the colleagues on behalf of the UN country team in Eritrea, but also a real pleasure for us to have hosted the steering committee of the global program on female genital mutilation. And this is an issue that affects the health, the well-being, and sometimes the life of millions of girls and women around the world. And this is a country that has made extraordinary progress on this issue. So it's wonderful to have the opportunity to bring the Global Steering Committee here and to bring the partners here to be able to showcase the progress that this country has made. You ask about being FGM-free by 2030. I have no doubt that this country will be FGM-free by 2030, that it will achieve that goal. And the reason that I say that is because the government here has taken incredible leadership steps in driving towards that goal. They have a costed national action plan that cuts across sectors: health, education, justice. They have coordinated at the grassroots level, and I'm very pleased to have the president of the National Union of Eritrean Women here today. It's really their leadership. They are present in 90% of communities around the country. They are supporting women on economic empowerment. They are driving communities to abandon this practice. And I want to just share with you a couple of achievements that have been made here. Almost a quarter of the country have declared themselves FGM-free. More than 100 religious leaders have publicly declared that FGM is not a religious obligation, and more than 189,000 girls have been spared from being subjected to FGM. That's an extraordinary number of women and girls who will have quality of life that they may not have had otherwise. As the UN here, and I know my colleagues from UNICEF and UNFPA will tell you, we have been able to support this leadership with the joint program on ending female genital mutilation. And we're very privileged and honored to be able to partner in support of government's leadership here. Thank you.
First of all, thank you very much for having me here. Just let me start with UNICEF. As you may know, it's about children. We want to see child rights fulfilled globally. We also see FGM as a violence against child rights. Elimination of FGM is central to UNICEF mandate. Having said that, for the FGM elimination, we have 5 critical areas where we want to support the government. The first one is about provision of technical support, be it data, monitoring, information management, and documentation. We also want to continue to support the government in terms of resource mobilization. We are approaching to the last mile of the elimination. It's the most difficult bit. With that in mind, we need to get more resources to double down the government efforts. And number 3, we are going to continue to support the government in terms of social behavioral change. we are going to work with the government, communities, schools, teachers, young children when it comes to social mobilization, sensitizing also communities. That is going to be one of the ways that we want to see a big social change so that we make the FGM history. And the further bit is about supporting government in terms of cross-border, because we know a lot of those communities where they practice FGM, they live either side of the border. It is about coordination and facilitation when the time comes so that we can eliminate the FGM. I think lastly, we are going to continue to work with our partners like education and health in terms of a multi-sectoral approach, and we'll continue with that. There are very good examples where the government has made a very, very great kind of strides in terms of immunization of children. For example, 95% of the children and above under 5 are fully immunized. We would like to expand, that effort, because a lot of times the same child may be at risk for FGM when they still get immunization. So that I think we want to work with that. On all these, it is really great. We have done a lot of efforts, significant achievements, and results are quite visible on the ground. But we now, once again, that the last email is going to be problematic, but we will continue to support the government efforts. Thank you.
Let me start by also extending my gratitude on behalf of myself and the steering committee for the invitation to come to Eritrea. It has truly been an inspiring and quite powerful visit this week. We've met with all parts of Eritrean society, from the national government to local government, communities, religious leaders. We've met with young people, with health workers. And what has struck me in all these meetings is the commitment to end FGM at all levels. Eritrea, as colleagues have mentioned, has made great progress in the last 15 years. And I think community ownership on this issue has been the most crucial element. From all the interactions we've had with all different stakeholders, this issue seems to be social norms on this issue have changed quite drastically in the last couple of years, and that has been really, really inspiring to see. And I think one of the most powerful things that we've seen is the narratives that have been built on bodily autonomy. FGM is not only a health issue, it's an issue about human rights and women's rights and women's empowerment and bodily dignity and human dignity. And that has been quite clear in the visits that we've had, that the level of awareness in the community has been so strong. And then, as colleagues have mentioned, reaching the last mile is always an issue. It's always difficult. I think Eritrea has the recipe for success, and it's now only about reaching those few communities that remain so that we can end FGM by 2030, which seems to be a goal that Eritrea can achieve. So thank you.
I would like to thank the government for graciously inviting the steering committee to visit, and I'm full of gratitude for the generosity that we have been met when we visited Hagaz Current. So really a great experience. I just wanted to first start by saying that the UNFPA-UNICEF joint program is one of the longest and is the largest global program to eliminate FGM. It's 17 years old, and we support and work with governments down to community level to contribute to catalyze and accelerate the change towards FGM. And we're particularly excited to be part of the Eritrean journey, which seems that it will end FGM in 2030. Really amazing results. She shared data on the numbers, and I just wanted to put some percentages. The figure that we started was 83% of girls and women having FGM, and we're anticipating less than 5%. So this is really a tremendous achievement, and I congratulate Eritrea on that. So 4 things we would like to do as the joint program. We would hope we will be able to support you in scaling up all these interventions, the community engagement, the religious leaders, girl education, social media scale up, and especially in regions where is lagging behind, like the Gash Barka region, for instance, or southern Red Sea. So we need to dig deep into those regions. The second thing, we also understood that the governmental contribution needs to be costed, and we will support in the costing of that. And we don't just work in 18 countries, we have a global influence to reach 94 countries, and the story of Eritrea needs to be told and shared, and people need to learn from it. So we'll definitely amplify the story of Eritrea. And lastly, we will need evidence as we go through these last 5 years, measuring it until I know we will reach the zero. Thank you.
There is a government commitment. The 2007 proclamation is the foundation for our work. Abolishing of FGM is a government policy and as well as a priority. Progress so far is encouraging, with very low prevalence of FGM. Our development practice, a community ownership on the matter, is very strong. The religious leaders and the communities. Community dialogue is continuous, emphasizing on the pre-FGM communities are underway. Therefore, Eritrea is near future. The whole community will be free of FGM.
I think this is a really great example of what it is that we can achieve together as partners, as the United Nations, behind strong political will and leadership of a government to partner on development vision to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. And I think this is just one concrete example of what it is that we can achieve together.
Congratulations to the Eritrean people for the tremendous achievements that you've had on this issue in particular. I mean, it's an example for the event.
I'm truly inspired. I know the gains will be sustained. We visited the school, and the way the girls and boys talked about ending FGM, I know the future is safe in their hands. So really inspiring, a lot of lessons to go back and share.
The one thing that I really like about the program is about the government approach. Because the government knows how change can happen in Eritrea. Because the government used its soft approach to implement the proclamation that was done in 2007. We see the results of that. So I commend the government for the great work and the great approach, because we can bring the technical skills, we can bring resources, but we don't know exactly how change can happen. But the government knows, and the communities know. Children are in communities, in families, in schools, and they know how to talk about this. So I really thank and congratulate the government, and I will encourage to continue saying that. That's what I just want to say.
We will continue not talking to the community, but we are talking with the community. So we encourage the community to include this, and we will continue our effort to end FGM or harmful practices in this country.
The week-long mission closed with optimism and resolve. The government of Eritrea, in partnership with the UN system and international partners, continues to champion a model of change that is both homegrown and globally inspiring.